What's up, folks? Your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're going to do a Raw recap. We started off with the WWE intro being all screwy. Then Retribution comes out storming the ring. Apparently they've now signed contracts. One of the ladies in Retribution says that the WWE isn't safe. Dijak gets on the microphone, says the WWE superstars are the sickness and calls them whores. The Hurt Business come out, they run out to the ring, chasing off Retribution. MVP tells them that they ain't so tough. More Retribution people come out. The Uber brawl breaks out, and the Hurt Business ends up eating the beatdown. As soon as we come back from the commercial, we have a recap of what happened 5 fucking minutes ago. Jesus Christ, WWE, we're not fucking stupid. We go on our first match, a triple threat match for the #1 contender for the Raw tag titles. Angel Garza and Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo and Dominic versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. The Street Profits are at commentary. Zelina Vega is nowhere to be found in the corner of Garza and Andrade. This was an awesome triple threat match. Usually I'm not too much of a fan of these type matches, but this was really good. There's a lot of flying around, a lot of action. Like I said, really good. I liked it. At one point, Seth Rollins walks off from Buddy Murphy saying he's got a lot on his mind. We'll get more to that later. Angel Garza gets the wing clipper on Murphy, gets the pin. So Garza and Andrade will be facing the Street Profits at Clash of Champions for the Raw tag titles. We then had a recap of last week with Baba Kato and Braun Strowman from Raw Underground. We go backstage with Retribution. Dijakovic says that the Hurt Business will pay. We then go to the KO show. His guest is Shane McMahon. They talk about their past. Shane promos the match between Kato and Strowman. Shane then brings out Baba Kato. KO says to Kato, I remembered what happened 2 weeks ago when I was on Raw Underground, and at some point, we're gonna do this. KO then slaps Kato. Shane holds back Kato from going after KO. Then Kevin Owens introduces his guest, Braun Strowman. He comes storming out to the ring. Shane holds both of them back and says, hold up, wait until Raw Underground. We're not doing this now. Then Aleister Black comes running up from behind, pulls Kevin Owens' leg down, and crotches him on the ring post. Backstage, Retribution is beating down some other guy in Humberto Carrillo. I don't know who the other guy is. I really couldn't get a good look at him. We then have Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre. It's a good match. We've seen it before, but two big-ass hosses going after each other. I'm all for it. There was a lot of power moves going on. Both McIntyre and Lee are showing no quarter to each other. Lee starts to go for the Spirit Bomb, but McIntyre escapes, hits him with the Claymore kick. Then from out of nowhere, Randy Orton comes running in with a steel chair, smacks McIntyre, causing a DQ. Orton jams the steel chair into McIntyre's jaw, and then punt kicks Keith Lee. Orton then gets on the microphone, says shame on all of you for thinking he's not going to be at Clash of Champions. He comments on this being an ambulance match. He then walks towards said ambulance parked at ringside. He talks about his ambulance ride a couple of weeks ago and then doubles down on the fact that he's going to win at Clash of Champions. Backstage, Peyton Royce challenges Asuka. I'm not sure if this is going to end up being for the Raw Women's Champion or not. When the match starts up, I don't think they really said it. Well, okay, that match is going to be coming a little later though. We then get another recap of what happened with Retribution 90 minutes ago. Holy shit. We then go to our next match, Zelina Vega versus Mickie James. The winner will be facing Asuka at Clash of Champions. This is an okay match. It was kind of short. They didn't give it a lot of runtime. Zelina Vega hit a mean backstabber, got the pin, and it was during this match that I think Jerry Lawler outlasted his welcome. Because Jesus Christ, you get him in the area with a bunch of women. Holy shit. Please, WWE, get rid of Lawler. I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but that was back in the 90s when he used to do that, and now it's just old man creepy. Ew. Bruh. Fuck. Backstage, we got the Hurt Business beating up members of Retribution. Then we cut to a video package of Bianca Belair showing up some gym jockey. Hopefully they start doing something with Belair because she's just chucked into obscurity. She had a storyline a while back with Zelina Vega, and we just fucking forgot about it. Nothing. We don't see hide nor hair of her for weeks on end, months probably. And, you know, here she is in a video package. Hopefully they fucking do something with her. She's a good wrestler. I liked her work. Push her. Give her some fucking matches instead of fucking just leaving her on the sideline. Anyways, early on today, we got Akira Tozawa and some ninja who's dressed up as a referee at the beach. They're hiding underwater as R-Truth comes walking out to the beach with the 24/7 title. R-Truth spots a shark. All hell breaks loose. He loses his title somewhere. He starts trying to look for it, and a torn up shirt washes up, so I guess either Akira Tozawa or the referee got eaten by a shark. R-Truth finds his title. Okay, Cool. What the? Oh, wow. That's an acid trip and a half. Holy shit. We then have Apollo Crews versus Cedric Alexander. Before the match, MVP gets on the microphone, says he's got an official statement about the 6-man tag match coming up later. Says really nothing of much worth. Cedric Alexander gets on the microphone, says he's getting even with Apollo Crews, and he doesn't really give a damn. Apollo Crews and Ricochet come out. Apollo Crews just wants to punch Cedric Alexander in the mouth. So now that all that jaw-jacking's done, we finally get on to the match. This was a decent match. There was a good bit of action going on. Both competitors put on a pretty good show. Alexander got distracted outside with Ricochet when he gets in the ring. Crews gives him a roll-up, gets the pin, buggers out before MVP comes running in. As Ricochet and Crews are celebrating on the ramp, the rest of the Hurt Business come running out, beat them down. Lashley puts the Hurt Lock, Full Nelson, whatever the fuck they're going to call it this week on Apollo Crews. Okay. We then go to Raw Underground where Arturo Ruiz goes up against Dolph Ziggler. There's a good bit of action. It was basically just a hug-a-thon. Ziggler wins with a submission. Okay. We then get Seth Rollins come walking out with a legal envelope. He says there's something bothering him about the Mysterio family. He shows a picture up on the Tron of the Mysterio family. Says there's a difference between Dominic and Rey. Oh shit, here we go. Seth Rollins did some digging. He calls out the Mysterio family. Rey says that he's tired of Seth Rollins' mind games. Rollins has the results of a DNA test and wonders if Rey Mysterio is Dominic's dad. Oh shit, here we go again. Seth pulls the paper out. Rey Mysterio is not Dominic's dad. What? Ugh. Mysterio says that it didn't work back then and it's not gonna work now. Seth Rollins starts to double back into, wait a minute. Maybe I got the wrong child on the results here. Maybe it's Aaliyah that's not the kid of Mysterio. What the fuck? Where the hell did you get Aaliyah's DNA? Rollins shows a video of last week of Aaliyah checking up on Buddy Murphy. Mysterio says, keep my daughter's name out of your mouth. It's at this point that Aaliyah starts to walk off, followed by her mom, and then Rey and Dominic follow up not too far behind them. Seth Rollins apologizes looking at the camera and says, I'm sure this has happened to some of you in the past. And a part of me is thinking this, I'm hoping that they're not trying to say that Murphy is the father of Aaliyah, because if I did my math correct, that would mean that Buddy Murphy was 12 years old when he fathered Aaliyah. Yikes. Holy shit.
This is such good shit.
We then have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Lana and Natalya. Lana and Natalya actually have matching colors this time. The Riot Squad are over at commentary. This was a glorified squash match. Lana taps out to a Carafuna clutch. After the match, Jax and Baszler square off against the Riot Squad. They start shoving each other around. Nothing happens here, but Lana does eat another Samoa drop into the table again. In a backstage interview, Drew McIntyre says he wants to pick a fight. I believe that's gimmick infringement with Aleister Black. Further on backstage, Aaliyah walks away from the Mysterio family. Okay. Back to Raw Underground, Riddick Moss goes up against Eric. It was an okay match. Riddick Moss won it. Then we got Asuka versus Peyton Royce with Billie Kay at ringside. I didn't hear them saying anything about being a title match. This was the M match. It was started looking good, but the M match came with the ending, which was almost kind of predictable because Asuka wasn't going to lose the title tonight, being she's going to be defending it at Clash of Champions, because Zelina Vega comes running in and attacks Asuka, causing a disqualification. Zelina Vega did, however, bug her out before Asuka was able to retaliate. Cutting backstage, Buddy Murphy approaches Aaliyah, says, I want to apologize, the stuff with Seth Rollins has gone too far, and walks away. I hope that that's where it goes, because like I said, if they're going to go with the father thing there, yikes, holy shit. Next, we then got the Raw Underground main event with Dabba-Keto versus Braun Strowman. This wasn't bad. It was a really mean match between the two of them, though. Once again, two big-ass motherfuckers going after each other. At one point, they were chucking some dude on the ringside back and forth to each other, like tennis, okay. Getting back into the ring, it was, like I said, mean. I wish they really would have given this a little bit more time than they did. Braun Strowman was able to lay out Dabba-Keto, which somebody had to lose. I think it probably would have looked a little better if Kato won it, because, at least gives Raw Underground a little bit more legitimacy. But WWE, yeah, Vince McMahon's going to Vince McMahon. We then go on to our main event, the Hurt Business versus Retribution. The members of Retribution were named T-Bar, Slapjack, and Mace. They forgot to mention their missing partner, Sweetums. Basically, I know it was Dijak and Dio Madden. I don't know who the tiny dude was, but okay. There was a lot of brawling action going on in this match, although it was kind of predictable. Bobby Lashley got the Hurt Lock onto Slapjack. Woo. Dijak hit Bobby Lashley, which caused a disqualification. That rule, they flip-flop on that rule so many fucking times. The rest of Retribution stormed the ring. Big ass brawl comes out. Drew McIntyre comes out with the rest of the Raw locker room. All hell starts breaking loose. McIntyre starts clearing out the ring. Orton comes running out of nowhere. RKO lays out McIntyre. The brawling still continues out at ringside as Randy Orton stands tall over Drew McIntyre. With this, we end tonight's Raw. With the exception of a few little spots, Raw was actually really good. I'm going to say really good. That gives them a little too much credit. It was good. I liked it. I'm hesitantly wondering where they're going with this whole Seth Rollins dad DNA shit. I'm hoping they're not going where I'm thinking they're going, but it's a train wreck. I don't want to look, but I'm compelled to. The rest of the night was good. The matches were really good. And even the stories going on backstage, those were good. A couple of small spots, not so much, but I liked it. It was a good Raw. For a go-home show, for pay-per-view, Raw actually had a good show. Holy shit, play your numbers, folks. There was also a video package saying that Mandy Rose is now part of Raw. Hopefully, welcome Mandy Rose to obscurity. Hopefully they don't bury her down in the hole like they did everybody else. Hopefully SmackDown will have an equally good go-home show, and that'll do it for this episode of Raw Recap. I'll be back on Friday for the SmackDown review. Leave a comment down below what you thought of tonight's Raw, what you thought about this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.